we were saying there, Nissan is building a huge battery factory in Sunderland, and that's going to create up to 2,000 new jobs. And our North East reporter Rachel Sweeney is there in Sunderland at the Nissan factory. Rachel, I can see from your face how buzzing you are about this news for the North East. Tell us more. What is this £1 billion investment going towards? How are people at Nissan, the employees, feeling about this big boost?
This is just fantastic news. I've stood outside of Nissan reporting from here for the last 15 years, but this really is the news we've waited for such a long time. The Gigafactory is coming to Wearside, with it thousands of jobs in Sunderland and in the supply chain. Earlier I spoke to the business secretary, who said he's very jobs to go to people in Sunderland and across the North East, so that's good news too. Now, a gigafactory is essentially a giant factory. It will make electric car batteries and other components for electric vehicles. Last week I was stood on this very spot telling you about a £400 million investment in the new production of the third generation Qashqai, a model the workers here are extremely proud of, and rightly so. So there's more investment coming in so many different ways. We must say, though, that some of this cash from the £1 billion has come from taxpayers' fund. There's a £500 million taxpayers' fund for this sort of thing, but we don't know exactly how much of that has gone towards the Nissan factory. But this is thousands of jobs at a time when we're coming out of a pandemic, and it wasn't that long ago we were worried that Nissan was going to leave the UK altogether. There were 6,000 workers in there with 6,000 families. You know, they didn't know where the security was going to come from. This is a huge boost of confidence for them, for the workers, for the region. News. There's a great atmosphere here today. Everybody's appreciative and really celebrating Sunderland's achievements. The fact that the Gigafactory is coming here is just shows that not only is Nissan the heartbeat of manufacturing in the North East and in Sunderland, but it's also thinking about growth and moving forward. Now, I've just had a private tour of the factory, and in full PPE, and they just told me that they're actually planning 4 gigafactories, not 1, 4. They don't have planning permission yet, but they showed me a picture of the site, and they are hugely ambitious. So this sounds like this is just the start.
Really intriguing, and you probably shouldn't have been told that, and you probably shouldn't have shared it, so well done on both fronts. I tell you the other thing that struck me listening to you earlier on about... I did. Go on.
I did ask, and he said I could tell you.
That's a proper grown-up journalist at work. But I tell you the other thing that struck me. You were talking about supply chain jobs and support jobs and what have you. But the other thing that both you and I know and love up there is brilliant higher education. Sunderland University, I'm lucky enough to be an honorary graduate of it there. The way that Nissan and the educational world work together on apprenticeships and stuff like that. I mean, it's exactly what Karen Billimora was talking about, is the digital world, but both sides working together. I mean, it really is an absolute perfect example of it.
Look, this region is built on industry. Shipbuilding, coal mining, steel making, we make things, and we make things work for us. Now, you can speak to anyone who walks into this Nissan factory. They will tell you that they started as an apprentice. People start from apprenticeships and they retire here. This is a career for life, which is why it's so crucially important that it stays in Sunderland, and not only stays, but it also grows. Now, interesting, and aren't just looking after the people who work for them. They're actually reaching out to children, and so far they've helped 65,000 children with their foundation and their skills foundation learn about manufacturing. They're particularly interested in educating young girls and trying to get them to consider a career in manufacturing, which I thought was very interesting.
Rachel, terrific work from crack of dawn this morning to now, and you haven't finished yet, but for the time being, thank you very, very much indeed. Did you just love it when a reporter has been out there working her whatsits off from crack of dawn, and she's still so enthusiastic about what she's got to share with folk?
And it's hard not to be, I think. With
it's infectious, and it's lovely.